Hi, it's Maureen. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me as I set up for the month of February. I'll be using the Bee My Valentine stamp set from Stampin' Up with some fun Valentine's Day colors and some coordinating markers and lots of other markers, but I will link everything in the description below so that you can check them out there. This video is a little late, but let's jump into my flip through. I'm under the weather yet again, but here we go. This is not fun. So I might not talk as much as I usually do with this voiceover. So here's all of my January. You can see that I finished my filming way in January, but it's just taken me a while to get to the editing and the voiceover, just because I haven't been feeling well. But anyway, let's get started with February. So first I am writing out February at the bottom of the page. And this theme is going to be all about hearts and bumblebees and Valentine's Day. So we'll use a play on words with the Be Mine, with the bee being a bumblebee. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'll be using the Bee Builder Punch to do some masking. This also comes with the stamp set. You could purchase this as a bundle through Stampin' Up. I will link that below. Right now, we are in the middle of something called Sale-A-Bration, and if you purchase $50 worth of materials or supplies through Stampin' Up, you then qualify for some free product, which is really cool. So I'll link all of that below, and you can check that out. Here I'm stamping the bumblebee. I'm doing some masking so that I can stamp the wings and also the antenna. I'm also going to add a cute little face, and then I'm not sure what you call that little swirly thing that I stamped on there, but it just shows that he's in movement or she's in movement. And then I added some hearts, and that page is all done. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you may see that I've added some other things. That happens a lot. After I finish creating my pages, I often go back and I stamp a little bit more here and there, and that's what shows up on Instagram. So if you ever see it look a little differently, that means I just kept creating more after filming stopped, and that happens often. So here I am just setting up my calendar. I am using the Layered Letters Alphabet stamp set. It's no longer available, but I'm going to link something similar below called Classic Letters Stamp Set. It's just $25, and that is available. So you could get that and have the same effect. So usually I take out the cleaning, but I wanted you to see the cleaner that I use from Stampin' Up, and then also that each of those letters were individual. So that's why I left that little piece in. So now I'm just adding the days of the week to the months. And this page, it has a few more things here, but you'll see. So once I do that, I'm going to add another bee. And with this bee, I am going to add wings to the left side of the bee and also to the right side. So this bee is flying upwards, just to give it a little bit more interest, to have the directionality be a little different. So again, I'm adding a face, and I'm going to add some antenna at the top of the bee as well. Now here's where the problem came in. Sometimes when I'm creating, I'm not always paying attention, and I do some things and then I have to make it work out for the best. So at the bottom, I'm stamping the stems for flowers, but I stamped on the wrong side, so that's why they're so thick. So here I cleaned them, I'm flipping them over, and I'm going to ink it back up, and then you'll see what the stems are supposed to look like. So there we go. So I just kept the other ones in there. I thought it made it look more fun, and I'm just going to go with it. So only you and I will know the real truth about what happened here. We'll keep it between us, right? Okay, so I added the tops of the flowers, putting some petals on there, using Highland Heather, and I think that's pink. I'm not sure what that pink is called. Let me see. Petal pink is what I used for the flowers. So petal pink and Highland Heather. So I'm just adding in the dates for the month. And the Stampin' Up! Markers coordinate so well with the ink. You can see how I can color in the missing places where the stamp didn't get full coverage, and it blends in very well, and you can't even tell that I did that. Now on this page, this is my gratitude page, and I didn't feel like pulling the letters out again, so I just got a marker and I wrote them in a big font. And that's what's happening here. So on the left, I'm writing gratitude, and on the right, I'm going to write tasks. And these are pages that, or spreads that I use each month. So if you've been following me, you know all about them, and you probably could tell me what they're for better than I could tell you. But here's my one line a day that I am putting on the left side. And I'm using my zig marker and filling in a nice long black rectangle. And I'm going to write inside of there one line a day using a signal gel pen. Again, excuse my voice. I can tell that it doesn't sound like me right now, but here we go. You can watch me a little bit. I'll get quiet. Okay, so I'm just numbering down the side of the page for my gratitude page. And I am going to highlight every other line, as I always do. I love highlighting every other line because it just gives more of a finished look to the page. It leaves it so it's not just a blank white page, but it gives it more of a finished look, and then also it helps me stay on the lines when I'm writing. So if I'm writing and I'm not in a well-lit space, it's sometimes hard to see those dots. You know, I'm a woman of a certain age, so the dots don't always show up very easily for me, and having the lines highlighted helps me to see where to write them. So I'm adding some bees at the bottom of the page on the left and on the right, adding my wings again and the antenna, and then I'm going to add some hearts. And I'm going to continue on with the lines, and this page will be just about done. And there we go. So if you know what those squiggly lines are called that I'm stamping behind the bee that shows that the bee is in motion, put that in the chat or in the comments so that I know what to call that. Because I'm just calling it like the movement lines or the flutter. I'm really not sure what you call that. But here I'm using that Signo gel pen. I really love the way this white shows up over the black. And I'm writing one line a day on the left side. And on the right side where the tasks page is, I'm going to write home on the left and work on the right. So this page on the right, the tasks page, is going to be for the tasks that I need to complete for the whole month of February. So as I think of things that I need to do, I'll be listing them here, and as I complete them, I'll be checking them off or Xing them off. And I started this last month, and it worked really well. So I'm going to keep going with it and see how I like it. I like it so far. So I'm going to keep doing it until I don't like it. And then my last setup that I'm sharing with you is my weekly. And as you know, I like to do an entire week on one page because I like for my entire book to last for 12 months. And the best way for me to do that is if I have most of my weeks on one page by themselves. Sometimes I will have a 2-page 1-week spread, but generally I often will have an entire week on one side of the page or on one page. Yeah. There you go. Easier said than done. So here I am setting up my first week of February. It starts February 5th. And I am putting a black circle there with my zig pen because I'm going to go back in with my Signo gel pen and I'm writing the numbers in white. Again, giving it a nice little contrast, making it jump out at you. Just trying to change up what I do a little bit. So I don't always use this black and white technique, but I do like it, so I thought I would use it for this month. And I'm sure I'll be bringing it back for some other months, but it's been a while since I've done it. So here I am adding some more bees at the top. And like I said, if you check me out on Instagram, you will see where I am going to add more things to these pages. I'll be adding some larger hearts, and I'm also going to add some honeycomb. And if you want to check that out, you will have to find me on Instagram. And on Instagram, I am Maureen's Bujo Life. And that's what you can search me under. And you will find how I finish up my pages there. But here I am just adding in the numbers for the dates. And one thing I forgot to do was to add the days of the week. That is another thing that I will add later. I really just realized that like 2 days ago on February 5th when I started to use this page. So it's always a work in progress. And I am finishing it up here, adding some hearts. I am also going to shade some lines here, shade every other line. And I really wasn't sure what I wanted to put in these sections, but I'm just labeling it as notes because I already have my task section somewhere else, but this could be your tasks if you decide to do it that way. This could have been my task page, but I had already created a task page. So here with this section, I just decided to do notes, but you can come up with some other ways to use this page if you like, or this section of the page. And I'm adding a drop shadow. And we are coming to the end of my February setup. So I will do my shading of every other line on both of the sides of the page. And then I will write notes, and that will be it for this layout. So I'm really curious to know what layout you did for February. So add that to the comments. Let me know what your theme was for the month of February, and give me some suggestions for March. I'm not sure what I want to do for March, but I am open to your suggestions, so please help me out. Okay, we're going to get ready for the flip through. Thanks for tuning in, and please share this video with some friends who are into crafting and planning. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Also hit the bell icon to get notified when I post a new video. And as I said, all items used will be linked in the description below. And I will see you next time. Thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye.